What is going on, boys? Today we're going to be discussing a little bit about the CDL and who I think is going to take the major today. Does Optic have a chance? Does Optic not have a chance? I will be discussing that in today's video. We got about 2 hours before the match start. Um, we have Optic Chicago versus Toronto Ultra coming up first at 3 p.m. Again, these matches do start in 2 hours. But as you guys know, yesterday, Optic made a run. They destroyed Dallas and then they destroyed Mutineers. The Mutineers matches were actually really close compared to the Dallas matches. Optic was literally preying on Dallas, like they were just destroying them. I honestly think the dumbest decision Dallas could have made was dropping Hook for Fellow. Now this Fellow guy comes in and he's played in the past. He's played in the CWL, which is an alternate version of the CDL before all these teams got coordinated and they paid the teams paid their spots for the league. Fellow was a decent player in the CWL, but now he comes to the CDL, and I get that it's online and shit, and everyone wants to say it's online, and but these guys have Dallas Wi-Fi. Most of these guys have about the same Wi-Fi connections. They live around each other, so there's somewhat of an excuse about the online, and I do think that there's a big difference between online and LAN. Um, but Fellow just didn't perform at all. He was dropping about 8 negative per map on respawns versus Optic, and Optic's been struggling of late. So right now versus this Toronto Ultra, Optic versus Toronto Ultra, the last time they matched up was about a month ago, a little under a month ago. And if you remember, Optic versus Toronto, there was a bunch of close games in that. It could have gone either way, but it ended up being a 3-1 Toronto. But Optic literally choked on two maps. And right now, Optic actually has the momentum. So if we're going to be going to the sports betting thing, they have Optic as the underdog on the money line for plus 159. So if you would bet, say, like 40, you would win about 1.5 times, actually, yeah, 2.5 times your money, so you'd be doubling up and then getting an extra $20. But they have Toronto listed as the favorite. Um, Now I don't know why they have that, but well, I guess it's because of the money line. But like people are voting on Toronto because they think it would be an easy win. But Optic Chicago actually have the momentum to actually win this game. They've been frying of late. Okay, I know they haven't looked well at all during the whole point standings, like in terms of CDL points and where they're placing on the bracket, but they're making a losers run and they're in the top four. So I do think Optic will win, and I'm gonna put this as a 3-1 Optic victory. 3-1, 3-2, but I would go with 3-1. That would be my guess. So Optic versus FaZe would be next. In my opinion, FaZe, they have a lot of talent. They kind of struggled versus Toronto to win that match, but they did close it out. So I'm gonna have to go with FaZe versus Chicago. I'm gonna have to go with FaZe because FaZe has more talent. They got Simp, aBeZy, Celium, and Arcides. And in my opinion, they've just been frying. And last time they paired up against Optic, Optic didn't stand a chance. Now I know Optic were complaining about server issues and playing on 60 ping versus 20 ping, but I still think that even if the server issues are going to be fixed, I do think that FaZe will win this match. Um, FaZe have always dominated Optic, no matter what game it is. I'm not being biased. I'm just saying, even in this COD, they have the most talent on a single roster, in my opinion, and they can do the most. Atlanta FaZe won the first major. Um, and Toronto Ultra won the second major, but barely. Atlanta FaZe was looking good. They kind of slowed up, and I think they underestimated their opponent. That's why they lost the major too. So the money lines actually won't be coming up until after this game is decided, because whoever wins this game goes on to the next game to face FaZe. But yeah, my prediction is Optic would move on to the second round, and then FaZe would fight Optic for the chance to make the grand final, and FaZe would win. So if you guys didn't know, this is a best of 5 series, and then the grand final is a best of 9 series. So FaZe would be facing New York Subliners. Now, New York Subliners, yesterday it was a thrilling matchup. It was actually 3-2 against FaZe. Came down to a 1v1, Simp versus Hydra. And actually, Hydra literally saw him cross on Express S&D through mid-map, 8 seconds left or something, and he shot some bullets in him, and Simp thought he was going to chow on bomb, so he just waited there and he didn't plant the bomb. But Hydra ran away, and that's how New York won. It was 6-5 S&D, round 11. Round 11, game 5. So that was the closest you can get, and New York pulled it out. New York looked really good in their first 2 matches. They kind of slowed up a bit towards their third and fourth matches. FaZe literally came out swinging on the third and fourth matches. Simp started to heat up. I think RCD's heated up a little bit. Honestly, this grand finals, I would have to be taking New York Subliners. I feel like if FaZe is gonna play New York Subliners, I feel like they lose full a little bit, and they lose confidence in themselves when they lose a couple matches, and then they eventually just choke. So you have New York Subliners. You have Asim Hydra, Clayster, and Mac. Now, this is a talented roster, okay? And I do think they have what it takes to pair up with FaZe, and I do think New York would win. I feel like this is going to go 5-3. 5-3 in favor of New York. I feel like these respawns are going to be close, but I feel like FaZe is going to take some of these S&Ds, so that's why I think it's going to be a 5-3 score. Hydra has been looking really good. This dude's from Europe, and he doesn't even speak proper English. I mean, he does, but like, he doesn't know all these call-outs, and he's from a different country. But he's integrated into the roster, and this is the first major with him, and he's been performing really good. The kid's on another level. He just understands how to play his life. He knows where the spawns are. He has great gun skill, great awareness. So I do think that New York will be taking this 5-3 in the grand final, best of 9. If you guys agree with my predictions, let me know in the comments. Leave a like on the video. Maybe subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And I hope you guys have a good day. I'll be posting more videos soon about more CDL brackets, Stage 4 Major. The LAN's coming soon on Stage 4, so that's going to be cool. And the All-Star Weekend's actually coming up too. For May, fan voting closes May 16th apparently. So last year's All-Star Weekend was pretty cool, honestly. There was a bunch of 1v1 gunfights, Scum versus a couple different people. Rip Pharaoh. I love that dude. He was so cool, bro. I used to watch his stream all the time. But yeah, Scum faced Pharaoh in a 1v1, if you guys didn't know, for grand finals. Or it was top 4, but I'm rambling at this point. I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye.